I never thought my life would dissolve into something this twisted, something so suffocating, that I'd question every sound in the night and every shadow at the edge of my vision. But it all started with what I thought was love. Her name was Grace, and at first she was everything I thought I wanted. Sweet, attentive, always present. Too present. She came to my job and just sat for hours watching me work, smiling like it was normal. I thought it was cute, flattering even, until it became routine. Then came the constant questions: where I was, who I was with, what I was doing, why I didn't answer my phone. If I ignored her for even a minute, I'd come back to 25 missed calls, texts stacked like a storm, all accusing, all demanding. Eventually, fights became constant and the suffocation became unbearable. The night I tried to break free, she showed me a side of herself I'll never forget. She locked me in her car, dug her nails so deep into my arm that strips of skin peeled back, and glared at me with eyes so hateful they barely seemed human. That night I ran, but running didn't save me. Soon she appeared outside my work, following me to my car, blocking my path, whispering threats disguised as pleas. I thought it would stop after I ended things, but that was only the beginning. One night I heard tapping on my bedroom window, soft at first, then harder. I ignored it until I heard her voice calling my name in the darkness. My blinds were thin. I knew she could see me. I stayed silent, hoping she'd leave. Instead, she began pounding, her voice shifting from a broken apology to a shrill scream. "You can't do this to me. You're mine!" My chest locked up with panic. I opened the door stupidly to demand she leave, and that's when I saw it. She wasn't alone. Behind the tree in my yard, a hooded figure stood, half hidden, waiting. When my eyes flicked toward him, she grabbed my arm again, screaming, and he bolted toward my window. Instinct saved me. I slammed it shut, locked it, and held up my phone, dialing 911. They ran, car screeching away, but the image burned into me. Grace with wild eyes and someone else, an accomplice, rushing toward my home. That night should have ended things, but obsession doesn't end with police reports. For weeks I heard footsteps outside, saw shadows pause at my window, felt unseen eyes tracking me. Then it all went quiet. Too quiet. Silence is never safety. It's only the breath someone takes before they strike again. I thought Grace was gone, but the quiet only made me lower my guard. That's when I met Amy. She was soft-spoken, kind, and for a moment I thought maybe normal life was still possible. But Amy came with a shadow of her own, her ex-boyfriend Tommy. He wasn't done with her. It started with vague texts from random numbers, just a sentence each, cryptic and cold. We blocked them, deleted them, moved on, or tried to. Then doors we'd left shut would be wide open when we got home. Once, Amy swore she heard a man breathing outside her window. I told myself it was paranoia, but deep down I knew it wasn't. One night, Amy woke me at 2 in the morning, whispering my name like it was a prayer. She said someone had touched her foot. When I sat up, the lamp was off, even though we'd left it on. The door we'd wedged shut with a chair was wide open, and at the foot of the bed was a silhouette, a man crouched low. My chest locked, and before I could move, I heard his voice. Tommy, he said he just wanted to talk. He'd copied her keys months ago, sneaking in at night. I wanted to grab the knife under my pillow, but my hand froze. He said he wouldn't hurt us, but his hand stayed on Amy's mouth until she agreed to be quiet. He left after 30 minutes, slipping into the night like smoke. We called the police, filed reports, even got a restraining order, but none of it mattered. Tommy faded from view, but his presence never left. Amy and I ended things. My nights became an endless cycle of checking locks, staring at shadows, clutching the knife. The paranoia had infected me. When I finally started seeing Marissa, I told myself I'd learned my lesson. She was different. She was intense but passionate, creative, unpredictable. I thought I could handle it. I was wrong. The day I ended things with her, she didn't cry or yell. She just stared at me and said, "You think it's over for you, but it's not over for me." It didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like a prophecy. The first letter arrived a week later, slipped between my door and the frame with no stamp or address. It said, "I miss waking up to you. I still sleep on your side of the bed." The second said, "You always check the door 3 times before bed. You probably don't even notice it, but I do." The third was worse. "You wore your blue hoodie Monday, the one with the hole in the sleeve. You should sew that up before it gets worse." That was the same hoodie I'd worn across town in a rainstorm, headphones in, no one around. She had seen me. She was always seeing me. The worst came with the Polaroid. It wasn't mailed, it wasn't slipped under the door. It was just there one morning, taped to my front door. It showed me, walking home in Denver, snow on the ground, headphones in, hands in my pockets. The picture had been taken from just behind me, the focus slightly blurred but unmistakable. On the bottom, in red ink, it said, "Your shoulders slouch when you're tired." My stomach dropped because no one else could have known that. I moved, again. Abandoned everything, job, apartment, friends, new town, new number, new name. But 2 weeks later, there was a note on my new front door. "I don't like the beard." I shaved it off, desperate, and the next note arrived the following night, better. Imagine realizing someone is close enough to your face to study the smallest change, and you never even hear them. I ran to a cabin in the mountains, far away from roads with nothing but a dog to warn me. For a month, silence reigned, and I thought maybe I'd finally escaped, until one night, the dog barked so violently it woke me from a dead sleep. When I opened the door the next morning, my blood ran cold. In the snow surrounding the cabin were footprints circling every window, pausing at each one, as though someone had taken their time staring inside. No note this time, no message, just silence. And silence, I've learned, is the loudest warning of all. I left again, moving into a house with 3 ex-military roommates, men who knew how to fight and defend themselves. For the first time, I slept deeply. But even here, shadows slip under doors. Footsteps creak in halls when no one is awake. And sometimes, when I open my eyes at night, I feel them. Eyes, watching me breathe. Watching me dream. Waiting for me to slip. Grace, Tommy, Marissa, different faces but the same shadow. Following me from city to city, bed to bed, life to life. I tell myself it's paranoia. But then the phone buzzes at 3 a.m. with a message from an unknown number. Still here. And that's when I know. It's never been about them individually. It's always been about me. I am the obsession, the fixation, the prey. No matter how many doors I knock, how many times I flee, how many friends I abandon. The truth is cruel and simple. I am never alone. I don't think I ever will be again. And if you're hearing this, if you're feeling safe in your room, checking your phone, maybe even looking over your shoulder as you listen, then let me tell you one last thing. Paranoia spreads like a virus. Once it starts, it never stops. You'll feel the same eyes I do eventually. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be mine. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this. Thank you.